Whoop. We're on. So we have both players sharing the top of the map, and it's going to be Larva in the upper right and Light upper left.
Yeah. So Fighting Spirit, this is a super basic map. It's like the macro map that everyone plays on, that almost every ladder game is on. It'll be interesting to see how Light wants to play here, because he does play more abnormal TVZ than a lot of players. You know, if you're seeing Last or Flash here, almost 100%, they're going to go like 5 racks and try to just stop the Zerg from really having a third base. But will Light do that? There's definitely a possibility. I mean, there's no question that he knows how to do that, can probably execute it quite well. But this guy does have a wide variety of builds, and when he does something more normal, where you don't just automatically win by scouting it, will Larva be able to stand up against that?
Now, Larva, not only is he just a fun guy to watch, he's funny because sometimes he rages, but he's also very smart. He's got definitely a different way of looking at the game. We've seen at least some of the games I've seen when I've watched him stream, is some crazy stuff with queens that he's used. I don't know if we're going to have anything like that here, but I know in previous ASLs we've had that.
Yeah, well, if Light goes into a mech switch, we probably will have that, and that would be pretty fun to watch. But
look at that check in the middle of the map saying, "You scumbag Terran, you hide barracks on me, fool me once."
By the way,
Shame on you.
that depot is perfectly placed. The bottom patch, there's a wide range where the SCVs can mine from on there, and if they mine like too far to the right, they bow out when they go back to the command center, so that keeps them in a straight line.
They arc.
The arc of the SCV bends away from justice if you do not have that depot there.
I think let's hope we can get a shot of that, because I really do want to point that out. This is something that you can start to learn at home if you're trying to learn this game. So see where that depot is?
Yeah.
The SCV's mine in a slightly straighter line on the edge patches.
Like the bottom patch, they go directly straight when you make it there, instead of otherwise sometimes they go like
to
diagonal
the right
and then go up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Staceless.
No problem. That's what I'm here for.
No, you're great.
So, Zerg is scouted, Terran, and I'm not going to lie, guys, this is very close push distances for the Terran to the Zerg space.
Yeah.
It's also going to be not that tough for Light to try to stop. Well, I guess really what this is going to come down to is can Larva get a third base up? Assuming that nothing crazy and cheesy goes on here, it's really going to come down to that. Yeah,
if he makes the third hatch before his gas, which it looks like he will be doing here, that is the main question that we will be watching for, especially if Light does barracks-based play. Like, will he get that third base? In fact, even if you do some of this factory-based play, like Goliath pushes and stuff, that third base is really what's important. Zerg has to have 3 gases to fight a normal macro game against Terran.
Yeah.
Like, there are ways that you can do things with like lots of minerals and only 2 gases, like Ling Lurker with upgrades or something like that, like Masslings. You see that sometimes on maps like Andromeda or something, but that's not like a standard macro game. That's something that Terran, if he knows it's coming, can counter well enough that you're at a disadvantage as Zerg.
Yeah, it's definitely something you could bot people with on the ladder, though.
Oh, yeah.
If they're not familiar with this, you're like, I don't want to play a long game.
Oh, this is like a really true point that like I want to be very careful about as we're talking about Brood War, is like there are ways that are theoretically better to play than other ways, but really you can kind of do anything in Starcraft.
There's
and if
a little bit more flexibility.
You can make it work.
Yeah, especially in Brood War. And that's why occasionally we see these styles that are dismissed, and then like 4 years later they come out. We're like, you know, you can kind of do so many different things. It's sort of in the spirit of the build, and that's why a really great player has a big, wide range of different techniques they try to administer. And of course, there's so many ways to come back in a Brood War game as well, with all these little fights that happen. Oh, sick! He got both in.
That's so funny.
All right, now he needs to scout around.
Yeah, and he's going to get a very good scout off. He's going to see the timing of that engineering bay. This right now looks like a 5 barracks play.
Yeah, for sure.
This is like exactly the build order for it thus far for Light. We'll see if he remains on that course.
Oh, dude, Larva's doing a really good job keeping the scouting SCV from getting out.
Yeah, but look, he's sending a lot of Lings right now.
Dude, he's going to... Wait, is there no bunker? Hold on.
He's making it right now. Like, once you lose your scouting SCV, you simply have to make a bunker because Zergs can do this. So, Larva, this is not exactly all in, but he's definitely getting very aggressive and wants to find damage with this immediately.
Okay, now notice he shows the 4 in the front, but there's a bunch pooled behind this.
Yes. Now notice the SCVs that Light has there. He realizes this could be something that's happening. If he pulls his SCVs quick enough, he should be able to hold this. But this is scary, man. This is like, you can absolutely lose a game to this. Look at this.
Oh my God, he sees...
that's huge, that's huge. Okay, he sees it, SCVs start moving around a little bit more.
Wow, look at Light was really clutch there. He'd stayed completely calm.
Yes.
And that means that now we've had probably too many lings made for, for
yes.
Larva to be in a comfortable spot.
This is such an important thing that you brought up here, Tasteless. Like, he has these lings and they aren't useless, but now they aren't going to do damage right now. Okay, so he's a little bit lower on drones than he wants to be. He's heading up towards his Mutalisks. He can make drones now, but you wanted these drones a little bit earlier mining with fewer lings and then add the lings later. So overall, he does have a worse economy than what he would have had otherwise.
So, from here, look, this is a very small advantage, but Light's looking good.
Oh,
Light's handled everything perfectly.
Fantastically.
Now, that being said, Larva with a second-grade scout in here really showed how you can juke and jive in a Brood War game. Comes up, he's going to see the pacing. Now, seeing 4 barracks, it's an indicator of where this game's going. Oh! Now, this was a pretty cool idea to try to run here and just shave down some lings, but I think he hemorrhaged a decent amount of Zerglings in that process. But it's going to be up to Ling Muta, I believe, right? There's no den up, right?
No, it's going to be Mutas for sure,
He's going to have about 10 Mutas, 11 Mutas coming up here.
This build can do well against that. We'll see what Larva's micro is going to be looking like against Light. Now, that is a lot of lings, so Light has to be very careful. He's going to poke out a few times, try to pick out lings, but keep reinforcing his Marines. Yeah, now, if Terran miscontrols when they move out on the map, you will get destroyed by Ling Muta. But sometimes Terran can pull off these insane dodges. Like, both these armies are scary is what I'm trying to get at. Yes.
You got to be really careful.
Like, if he gets surrounded by Ling Muta, Larva can absolutely take this game. That is, like, the worst thing that can happen. By the way, Larva plays 4x3. Just throwing that out there.
Oh, good to know. Miscontrol there. So it's important to note, as slow as, battles in Brood War are a little bit slower when they start off. A Marine Medic versus Ling Muta actually is one of the faster fights that can happen. Things could turn upside down really quickly. That's the difficulty, I think, for both races in this match, is that when the damage starts to come out, it goes real quick. It's, the damage output isn't as fast as Starcraft 2, but certainly, like, there is a moment during Ling Muta against, like, Marine Medic where suddenly someone wins the fight. Yeah. And you got to get the hell out of there at that exact millisecond, or you are losing way too much. But, anyways, Light is teching up off just the 4 racks, which is, like, that's fine. You don't have to necessarily make the 5 racks here, but he has a lot of bio out right now. That third base is going down for Larva. That's right, and he has to get this up. A scan there gives Terran confirmation of where that is. Larva trying to buy time, but again, some of these mutas taking some bruisings. Yeah, he's able to move out a little bit right now. Still got to be very careful with this set of bio. Again, in this rematch, Larva actually going for, in the standard game against a real veteran like Light. God, he's got to get that Muta away. It's so scary. Yeah. Okay, I believe he has 2 Hydras in the bottom right to make the Lurker egg wall. What Larva's doing is getting in between here. He wants to try to snipe reinforcements. And it's really tough for Terran when you move it out in the middle of the map like this. Yeah, you got to be super careful because you want to reinforce if he's chasing your army. Because, look, he might be able to actually kill this off. Light, I think, should go back and meet this. Like, he needs to join these 2 armies immediately. Oh, dude. Light's going to do a mix-up and actually go to the main. He's not going to go for this. Yeah. He's saying you might not have sunken colonies here. I am a pro. And he is right. Not out. Oh my God! Dude. Here we go. Targeting down 1 lurker immediately pulls back. The links around is pretty good though. Yeah, he didn't rejoin or join up these armies quite quickly enough. But the rest of the Marines come up. They save those medics. Does he have enough? Yeah. Yeah, he does. Well, wait a minute. Or maybe just barely not. It's very close. Always hard to say because each of these mutas takes a certain amount of damage. But Larva's killing it, dude. He's driving this army back. He is indeed. Super gutsy play there for Light to do the mix-up and go for the main instead of the bottom right. Even got 1 lurker. Well, I think with the amount of time he's spent in his base, like, he's been teching up more quickly, let's not forget. He went on 4 racks. He didn't produce the Marine Medic. True. As much as you might see another play like a Flash or something, instead opting for going into the double starport immediately. But
You know, that's fine. You know, there's all sorts of different styles and stuff here. But
now, until there's a science vessel with this army, you got to be afraid of hold position lurkers.
Yeah.
And the very best Zergs are always going to have that ready. By the way, if you want to know how to do this, it's very easy. Select your lurkers and put one overlord in the group and hit H.
Yeah.
And they will not attack until you tell them to.
It works with workers as well.
And here we go. We see it right now.
This is like, that's amazing. That's so good.
That's
oh my God.
all he had to do. And that's what Light's going to get punished, man. You got too greedy. You got to wait for that vessel to come out here.
So this, like, Light is in a really tough spot. His standing army is super, super small right now. I don't think we're going to see him try to transition it anything like mech this game. I think he has to just go SK Terran, just tons of bio, tons of vessels, and see if he can get some money radiates off, because, like, he has no control in this game. Larva is really outdoing him.
Okay. Great push here. Actually, you know, it's funny because that Wallen looks pretty good against Lynx, but if you have lurker pushes here, how did the Marines actually get to arc out to fight that? Yeah. Larva is killing it. We have a drop ship, but this is a little bit dire. That means these lurkers are eventually going to get in there. I think he can get, am I wrong? He can get one lurker down there and hit the scan without the bunker covering it, right?
Oh, yeah. So. You're definitely right about that, yes.
Okay. Larva is everywhere.
Yeah, luckily only one muta there, so his dropship can get out and unload elsewhere. But this is...
Oh, hold on. He's going to try to bust out here.
Oh,
no, there's just too many
not a
lurkers.
good spread there either.
Oh, this is a very bad feeling as Terran when you just cannot get out. Zerg is eating everything that leaves your base.
Yeah, and he's taking his 4th base. Light doesn't have a 3rd. This is
That's
like...
right.
You want to be taking your 3rd at least when they're taking their 4th. And so that's really, really rough. I mean, look at this. He's making a vulture right now. Like, he's doing, like, the standard things that you should be doing, but he needs to have map control right now. He's actually being contained with bio against a lurker contain. It's not very easy to break out of.
Okay, a scan here on the army. This is getting very difficult right now for Light. I will say Larva's having some of the better early game ZVT we've seen in a while. But the Irradiates are good enough. Terran will break free. Larva needs to go back and regroup because right now the Terran army is, again, a big threat. Light needs this army to come out here and do some damage. He needs to reclaim the map. He, of course, is no longer under the same threat of stop lurkers as long as he has the science vessels over there. But with the Zerg having Dark Swarm, it poses a new threat. Because lurkers burrowed under Dark Swarm can only be killed by Irradiate.
Ooh, nice snipe there on the Defiler, and does run through that Dark Swarm.
Oh my God.
Great
pull it.
Right, I mean, he's making some really good moves right now with this Bioforce.
I think Light could possibly break out.
Yeah, like, Bio you can still definitely play with. I really want to see his main base and see what he's doing as far as his tech goes.
He has enough lurkers, man. Well, with his Dark Swarm, I guess, on the sun. Oh!
Ooh, you got to be careful about losing those vessels right now.
Every vessel is super important. If you get a really good Terran player, they're going to have like 12 vessels flying around with endless D-matrixes and irradiates, and it's a very...
Just don't put it on an Ultra. But,
yeah.
Okay, so he's up to 6 racks at this point. He is adding an armory, so it looks like eventually he wants to go into mech. I think his chances for going into mech right now are really far off. Like, he just needs to produce bio for a long time.
I agree.
And he has to get control. Like, he's playing against 4-base Zerg right now. You switch into mech, he's going to kill you before you get critical mass.
Okay, we're waiting to get those Defilers over here. Terran is not quite grouped up enough to get in. And with one solid Dark Swarm, the ambitions of breaking this base are going to be gone. In fact, he's going to go in there for a Plague.
Oh, by the way, I want to add something about these Fire Bats. This is a great play, especially when you're behind, to add in a bunch of Fire Bats. They can really screw up battle plans for Zerg.
Oh, great interception there with that Scourge. And... well,
wow.
Not the cleanest. Not the cleanest execution there. This drop actually did more damage than I thought. Look at this.
Oh my God. I can't believe he killed that. That thing was underground, man. Dude, this drop
is actually like super annoying for the Zerg.
When the second medevac or second dropship just died immediately, I did not think this would do anything. But that was pretty quality stuff. It's got a good vessel count still here.
I mean, Light is really showing why he was a pro from before.
Yeah,
this is really clutch play considering he was behind, and this does show that Brood War comeback mechanic. that is so scary to play against. Now, when you get those vessels irradiated like that, you want to watch out because one muta will come in there and the glaives will bounce off the vessels, and it is hilarious.
Yeah. And there's actually a reason that that spore is there. It is to help push back vessels that are coming in to radiate things.
Yeah.
And that makes the plagues even better because you actually need to go in and irradiate things. Like if you're playing bio against defilers, you have to be hitting lurkers and defilers all the time with the radiates. That's like how you're going to end up winning the game. If you're not doing that, you will get overwhelmed no matter what.
Light continuing to pump out at a pretty scary rate. He's attempting to enter into that mech transition. It's not going to be easy, though.
Yeah.
And here's a one. It's a Hunter-Seeker Muta.
You know, he's got 4 bases now, so that's really, really solid. He's still got good vessels. He doesn't have as much map control as you really want to have right now. So it's hard to like kind of catch everything that's going on. Like for instance, we see just a few lings go into his 3rd base. Now he has to send bio all the way over there, which makes him lose control of other portions of the map.
Right.
So this is where it's like hard to go into mech, whereas if you have any sort of map control, it's a lot easier.
Okay, some of these counterattacks becoming problematic. Now I think Zerg can try to hold this push for a long time down here. But if you notice with the mech transition, he never really got enough vultures out to properly litter the map with spider mines.
Yeah.
Oh, that is huge.
Dude, he started to make a really good comeback, but as of right now, this is very, very tough. Larva's making some great moves with plagues, hitting that 3rd base. That just shows the lack of control that Light has on this game right now.
Okay, I think Larva needs to be careful not to overextend here. Of course, with that many Plague Marines, things die very quickly. Ling counterattacks, I mean, this expansion's gone for now. One Defiler and a few Lings and a Lurker. Terran has a hard time reclaiming that back.
Yeah.
And this bottom left base, if the Lings get down there, that might be enough to take Light out. Light is hanging on by a thread here.
Yeah, this is a very, very tough situation. He just GG's out.
Taps out. Larva's done it. This is Beard Sports. Wow.
So that was really well played by